This is a meeting of the Tinton Falls Borough Council being held July 11th, 2023. This meeting is hereby called to order. Will the clerk please read the open public meeting statement?
Pursuant to Section 5 of the Open Public Meetings Act, adequate notice of this meeting has been provided by posting on the bulletin board at Borough Hall and by notification to the Asbury Park Press, the Newark Star Ledger, and the New Coaster at least 48 hours prior to the meeting, and filing with the Borough Clerk all on December 20th, 2022.
Thank you. May I ask the clerk to call the roll?
Ms. Buckley?
Here.
Mrs. Clay?
Here.
Dr. Dobrin?
Here.
Mr. Nessie?
Here.
Mr. Manginelli?
Here. At this time, I would like to invite everyone to join me in reciting the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Approval of the minutes. There is one set of meeting minutes for approval. May I have a motion to approve the June 13, 2023 regular and executive session meeting minutes?
Motion.
May I have a second?
Second.
May I have a roll call, please?
Ms. Buckley?
Yes.
Mrs. Clay?
Yes.
Dr. Dobrin?
Yes.
Mr. Nessie?
Yes.
Mr. Manginelli?
Yes. We will move on to reports. We have two proclamations listed on the agenda for tonight. Could I ask, well, I understand that Councilman Mike Nessie will read the proclamation. Would you do that for us, Mike?
Thank you, Council President, and good evening, everybody. This is a proclamation celebrating Angie Sworup, citizen of Tinton Falls. Whereas Angie Sworup was born in Long Branch in 1982. She grew up in Colts Neck, attended Randy School, and later attended Monmouth University, where she graduated with a business administration degree. And whereas after attending Monmouth University, she took over the family-owned construction business. She also has a real estate license with Keller Williams. Angie's parents raised her with diversity and understanding of different cultures, beliefs, and opinions. They instilled a strong work ethic within her. Helping one another was always something that was very important to her growing up. And whereas Angie and her husband, Aaron, have lived in Tinton Falls since 2008. They raised two beautiful children, Andrew and Abigail, who attended Tinton Falls School District. Since moving to Tinton Falls, they knew they wanted to make a footprint within the community. And whereas Angie has been a den leader for Pack 124 Cub Scouts and was appointed Cub Master for the pack in 2021. She is also involved in the PTA board. Whereas Angie is involved in the Tinton Falls Little League, managing the snack shack at Hawk Oxen Park as a volunteer. She was elected as treasurer for the Tinton Falls Little League in 2022. Being a part of Tinton Falls community and striving to make a difference is what Angie is all about. And now, therefore, the mayor and council of Tinton Falls do hereby honor Angie Sworup and congratulate her as citizens of Tinton Falls for the year 2023.
I'd like to ask the Angie Swoop and the family to come forward, please.
So for those of you that don't know, I just want to put one more accolade in Angie's cap. She was instrumental, along with her team at Little League, in the upcoming softball field project that we're about to undertake at Sycamore Park. So we're going to be building two softball fields for the girls. That's going to be underway. We already started some of the project, and we hope to break ground where it's noticeable coming up at the end of summer into the fall. And it's thanks to Angie and her team for Little League. So thank you, Angie. Thank you.
I'd like to invite the Tinton Falls Middle School boys basketball team and coaches to come forward for the reading of their second proclamation. Please come forward. Deputy Council President Risa Clay will now read the proclamation.
Try not to have my back to anyone. So this is a proclamation congratulating the Tinton Falls Middle School Boys 2023 basketball team for winning the Division A CIBL Championship and the Run for the Roses tournament. Before I read this, maybe Dr. Goldie would like to come up here and join our students. The Tinton Falls Middle School Panthers basketball coach, Mike McAvoy, and team managers Dominic Creed, Brenna Gloss, Gianna Ramos, and players for the 8th grade. Well, I guess now you guys are really like 9th grade, right? Well, at the time, 8th grade. Gavin Biasi, Logan Conrad, Brady Drennan, Finbar Duffy, Jordan Key, Divya Patel, Eddie Sagara, Malik Thompson, Aiden Trokia, and formerly of the 7th grade, now 8th, Ryan Corwin, Donovan Hicks, Jackson Ingham, Lucas Rack, and Corey Scotland. Whereas the Tinton Falls Middle School Panthers basketball team won the 2023 Division A CIBL Championship, and whereas the Tinton Falls Middle School Panthers basketball won the 2023 Run for the Roses tournament, and whereas the mayor and council of the borough of Tinton Falls is desirous of recording their sentiments of congratulations on the athletic achievements, dedication, and commitment of the players, coaches, and organization. And now, therefore, be it resolved by the mayor and council of the borough of Tinton Falls, congratulations are hereby extended to the players, the coaches, and the parents, I just stuck that in myself, and the organization of the Tinton Falls Middle School Panthers basketball team, and extend our thanks for the fine manner in which you represent our community. Thank you.
Okay, everybody, it's picture time. Come on up, everybody. Everybody can come up here.
Two lines.
Donovan in front.
What? I'm going to do that now, okay.
Hey, boys basketball, I heard the coach is taking everybody for ice cream.
And meeting early. Let's go.
Say, folks, you're all welcome to stay. That's the end of the fun part of the meeting. We're going to get on to council business now, and love to have you stay if you'd like to, but certainly go enjoy a beautiful summer night. How'd you like the way that?
Good job, coach.
Good luck with the ice cream.
I did it.
Yeah, weird.
Oh my God, everyone's like that.
Charlie, I thought you were gonna leave too, no?
I thought about it. I was trying to get out of the ice cream wagon.
Wish they would have stayed.
Okay, let's continue with the reports. Mr. Neff, our borough engineer.
Since Mr. Fallon's not here, I'll just touch on two of the bond ordinances that are being introduced tonight. The first one is for the upcoming road program, so the bond would provide funds for the design to be completed this year. It would start after the bond is finalized later this summer, and then for full construction in 2024. And then the next one is for park development and improvements, so that includes both the Sycamore softball fields that Mr. Tarafenko just mentioned. The design's already underway and funded. This would fund the actual construction of it, and it would also fund the design and construction of the Wardell Park restroom building and the necessary utility extensions down Wardell Road for that project. So those are the bonds. And then also under consent agenda, there's a resolution for a DOT grant submission that is for Hockoxon Road. It's standard DOT municipal aid that we've submitted for, so we're hoping to get a couple $100,000 or so for improvements to that road along the park and wrapping around towards Sam Drive. That's all I have.
Thank you, Mr. Neff. Mr. Tarafenko, Business Administrator.
Thank you, Council President. Good evening, everyone. Just a few quick notes. We had our first Community Day kickoff meeting. Community Day this year is going to be scheduled for October 7th with a rain date of October 8th. So like I said, we had our first kickoff meeting. That's underway. And I just wanted to highlight some of the activities from the police department. As of late, they had their neighborhood watch meeting recently, so that program's underway and it's going strong. We're getting a lot of positive feedback from the neighborhood watch meetings. They had their sports camp. We had 141 sign-ups for their sports camp. Their junior academy is about to take place this coming week. We also got a public safety grant from the state of New Jersey. We're awaiting the funding on that. That should be coming in the amount of somewhere in the neighborhood of $50,000. And since installing our license plate readers, we've in the neighborhoods that we were infected with stolen cars, we were able to recover 6 stolen cars since we put those ALPRs in those neighborhoods. So we're having positive results with those ALPR readers as well. And from the recreation standpoint, our summer camps are well underway and they're well attended. 200 plus participants in those activities thus far. And that's all I have for tonight.
Thank you, Mr. Tarafenko. Mr. Starkey?
Thank you, Council President. There are, Mr. Neff covered the first ordinances. There are 2 additional ordinances on. They pertain to the RWJ site across the street. They are really putting into effect the terms and provisions of an agreement that was already approved by the Borough Council back in December of last year, and they are consistent with that agreement. There is a financial component to that as well, and as Mr. Neff has pointed out, our expert CFO is not here tonight, but he will be here on August 8th for second reading and when there is public comment on those to answer any detailed questions on all 4 of the ordinances. And I just want to point out on the consent agenda, Resolution 23-111, there's a resolution of support for State Senate Bill S1. I think the legislature heard the rumblings coming from here that there was going to be some support for it. That bill was approved by the legislature. That's going to give senior citizens in Tinton Falls and throughout New Jersey a substantial property tax credit for those who qualify based on income. That is all I have for tonight.
Thank you, Mr. Starkey. Move on to council reports. Ms. Buckley?
Thank you, Council President. I wanted to congratulate everybody here tonight, but so congratulations if they watch the video. And also want to congratulate the police department on a successful sports camp. I just have 2 announcements related to the Environmental Commission and Green Team. We're having a special recycling webinar This will both help, this is something the Environmental Commission's wanted to do for a while, but this will also both help with our Green Team Sustainable Jersey submission. That's going to be this Friday. It's a lunchtime webinar from 12 to 1, which has been shared on the website, Facebook, and if you're signed up for Nixle Community Alerts, you would have gotten that as well in your email or text or whatever form of communication. So we're looking for as many people to join that if they can. And the next Environmental Commission meeting is going to be July 27th. And that's all for my report.
Thank you, Ms. Buckley. Mrs. Clay?
Thank you, Council President. I would also like to mention an accolade for our police department, not only with their work in the community that was mentioned by Mr. Tarafenko, but in addition, today I had a meeting with Dr. Goldie, who was here earlier, and the K-8 Board of Ed President, Mr. Palaio. And one of the things that was mentioned is how pleased they are with the work of our school resource officers, and not even in terms of potential deterrence, but in terms of the bond and the work that they're doing, creating rapport with so many students, and that is invaluable. Also, in terms of the webinar mentioned by Councilwoman Buckley, I would like to extend a very big thank you to our DPW folks for the work that they've done to make that webinar go, and to several of our borough employees that also worked hard to make that happen. So that's much appreciated. And that's all I have. Thank you.
Why, thank you, Mrs. Clay. Dr. Dobrin?
Thank you, President. So Saturday, August 19th, at the Sycamore Soccer Fields, the library's music festival will be conducted, and that's at 5 p.m. to 9 p.m. So they have 5 fabulous acts. That's the music acts. They have family-friendly activities. Food and beverages are available for purchase, and there'll be a beer garden as well. So the flyer we can find on the Tinton Falls website, or tickets at www.tintonfallslibrary.com. The trustees of the TF Library, I have to tell you, have been working very hard and very diligent to make this event more exciting than even last year's successful music festival. They really do a good job, and it's a great thing for the residents of Tinton Falls. Of course, sponsors for the event are always welcome. As well, we need volunteers for setups, chairs, tables, hanging signs, setting up coolers in the grills, etc. I guess the contact would be the Rosemary Kochman, president of the Library Association. She can be found at rjkochman@gmail.com. And I'd also like to congratulate a most deserving resident and citizen of Tinton Falls, Angie Swarop. She certainly is one of our borough's nicest people, as it has been mentioned before. Of course, congratulations to the TF Middle School boys basketball team. And I'd like to tell them, if they were here in person, that I coached for about 5 years the Tinton Falls rec basketball. That's my favorite sport. And one of my players became a very famous person. He's sitting right next to me. Mike Nessie is one of my players in a basketball team. And by the way, I forgot to mention that I do have a basketball with your signature on it from those winning basketball tournaments that we played.
Hold on to it. It might be worth something someday.
Yeah, we're going to see where it goes. But I was going to tell these people, hey, you never know. You're a winner, then you are a winner, and you'll always be one. So I thank Mike for being on my team. He was one of the winning guys. But that's about all I have to say for tonight, and thanks so much.
Well, thank you, Dr. Dobrin. Mr. Nessie?
Thank you, Council President. I have a light report. Last week's planning board meeting, there was an applicant from the Mid-Monmouth Tech Center it was approved for a flex warehouse space off of Park Road. This was the first applicant that was part of the ordinance for the tree save ordinance, and they happily obliged to replace the trees as much as they can on the property, and ones they couldn't, they contributed towards the escrow. That's it for planning board. And then for the chicken advisory board, We have a meeting next week, Wednesday. We don't know if it's going to be in person or not, but it might be just a phone call, it might be a Zoom. We'll figure that out right before as it comes up. But we have a couple more applications in loop, and then we have one person who is finalizing their last, the ending of their application. So they already have chickens, they just have their last, I guess, inspection. And that's that. So that concludes my report.
Thank you, Mr. Nessie. I have no report, in keeping in line with getting meetings over with. Ordinance for introductions, there are 4 ordinances for introduction this evening. I'd like to remind the public that when an ordinance is introduced, there is no public discussion. The public discussion for the following ordinance will take place when it is up for final consideration. With that, may I ask the clerk to read the title of the first ordinance?
2023-1502 bond ordinance providing for the borough's 2023-2024 road improvement program, appropriating $4,200,000, therefore, and authorizing the issuance of $3,600,000 bonds and notes to finance a portion of the cost, therefore authorized in and by the Borough of Tinton Falls in the County of Monmouth, New Jersey. The public hearing will be held on August 8th, 2023, or as soon thereafter as the matter can be reached on the agenda.
May I have a motion to approve the introduction of the ordinance?
Motion.
May I have a second?
Second.
May I have a roll call, please?
Ms. Buckley?
Yes.
Mrs. Clay?
Yes.
Dr. Dobrin?
Yes.
Mr. Nessie?
Yes.
Mr. Manginelli?
Yes. May I ask the clerk to read the title of the next ordinance?
2023-1503 bond ordinance providing for park developments and improvements appropriating $3,040,000, therefore, and authorizing the issuance of $2,800,000 bonds and notes to finance a portion of the costs, therefore authorized in and by the Borough of Tinton Falls in the County of Monmouth, New Jersey. The public hearing will be held on August 8th, 2023, or as soon thereafter as the matter can be reached on the agenda.
May I have a motion to approve the introduction of this ordinance?
Motion.
May I have a second?
Second.
May I have a roll call, please?
Ms. Buckley?
Yes.
Mrs. Clay?
Yes.
Dr. Dobrin?
Yes.
Mr. Nessie?
Yes.
Mr. Manginelli?
Yes. May I ask the clerk to read the title of the next ordinance?
2023-1504, ordinance authorizing community service contribution agreement with Monmouth Medical Center, Inc. for Block 101.03, Lot 1 within the Fort Monmouth Reuse and Redevelopment Plan area. The public hearing will be held on August 8th, 2023, or as soon thereafter as the matter can be reached on the agenda.
May I have a motion to approve the introduction of this ordinance?
Motion.
May I have a second?
Second.
May I have a roll call, please?
Ms. Buckley?
Yes.
Mrs. Clay?
Yes.
Dr. Dobrin?
Yes.
Mr. Nessie?
Yes.
Mr. Manginelli?
Yes. May I ask the clerk to read the title of the last ordinance?
2023-1505, ordinance authorizing financial agreement for medical office building upon Block 101.03, Lot 1 within the Fort Monmouth Reuse and Redevelopment Plan area by MMC Fort Monmouth Holdings, Urban Renewal LLC, an urban renewal entity authorized pursuant to the long-term tax exemption law, NJSA 40A:20-1 et sec. The public hearing will be held on August 8th, 2023, or soon thereafter as the matter can be reached on the agenda.
May I have a motion to approve the introduction of this ordinance?
Motion.
May I have a second?
Second.
May I have a roll call, please?
Ms. Buckley?
Yes.
Mrs. Clay?
Yes.
Dr. Dobrin?
Yes.
Mr. Nessie?
Yes.
Mr. Manginelli?
Yes. Hey, guys, it looks like the August 8th meeting is going to be a short one. I'm looking at all these ordinances coming up on that meeting. Ordinance for final consideration. There are no ordinances for final consideration this evening. Public discussion. Yeah, that's great tonight. Okay. May I have a motion to open public discussion?
Motion.
May I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
At this time, I would ask the clerk if any public comments were submitted prior to the meeting via email.
There were none.
When there are no further comments, may I have a motion to close the public discussion?
Motion.
May I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Does any member of council have anything to add? Now we have move to consent agenda. Before we do that, are there any items any member of the council would like removed to be voted upon separately? Hearing none, I have a motion to approve the consent agenda.
Motion.
May I have a second?
Second.
May I have a roll call, please?
Ms. Buckley?
Yes.
Mrs. Clay?
Yes.
Dr. Dobrin?
Yes.
Mr. Nessie?
Yes.
Mr. Manginelli?
Yes. This concludes today's business. May I have a motion to adjourn?
Motion.
May I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
The meeting is now adjourned.